So at open mic night, which is awesome, check it out every other Wednesday, there's this guy named January. He got up and he did some piece, and he was like, it's loosely based on Prince Charming. And so like he starts by saying like, who would ever want to be with Prince Charming? And he was like, really? This guy just had to go through the whole kingdom to get to you, and you just want to marry him? You want to be with Prince Charming? Like, it's all about the shoe. Like, really? It's just about the shoe. He had to go through the whole kingdom. And so, like, he did his whole little piece. And afterwards, I was just like, what you mean by that? Like, I don't understand what's wrong with Prince Charming. And second of all, I'm a total Disney princess. I've just come to that realization. I've decided to stop denying it to myself that I am a princess. People have been telling me my whole life that I'm a princess, or referring to me as a princess, not in like a bad way, but just always kind of being like I'm kind of princess-like. And I'm just like, I don't see that. I don't understand that. Like, I'm not a brat. I don't always get what I want. Like, I don't understand why you say I'm a princess. But when I got married almost 2 years ago, I couldn't help but see the signs of a princess. And I never saw them coming. I had a huge princess ball gown, and then I had like the extra skirt, like the petticoat, I think it's called. So where it fluffed out even more. So it was just like big as shit. And it had sparkles. I had like sequins and stuff like sewn into my skirts. I could just be sparkling all over the place. And my bodice had like sparkles on it too, and it was just so beautiful. But anyway, I got married in a theater with the cathedral scene background, okay? Columns and shit, all that. My Unity candle holders are a horse-drawn carriage, okay, just like Cinderella's. My bridal party walked down the aisle to Aladdin, A Whole New World. It's just so freaking magical. Aladdin is just so magical. Such a beautiful song. And then I made my entrance down the aisle to A Tale as Old as Time from Beauty and the Beast. Oh my God, I just love that freaking song. And had I had room for 3 songs, the other song would have been Kiss the Girl from The Little Mermaid. But I decided not to let our grandparents and parents walk down the aisle to Kiss the Girl. But anyway, so and then, my owl runner said, and they lived happily ever after on it. So I was like, maybe I am a princess. Maybe what they've been saying my whole entire life is true, but whatevs. But anyway, like, I'm all about being independent. Like, I like the new Disney princesses, like Moana, because she's just, like, so driven. Even though she had, like, her weak moments and stuff, like, she was like, I'm determined to do what I got to do to save my people and my island. And she had to lean on her grandmother's spirit and everything. R.I.P. to my granny. But, you know, like, I feel like I'm more one of those. And even Jasmine from Aladdin. I just love that movie. She was a princess and she had to be waited on and things like that, but she didn't necessarily want that life. And like, she knew what she wanted. She wasn't just going to marry any man that just rolled up in there. And she didn't even want to talk to Aladdin at first. I understand, girl, because Larry was trying to holler at me for like a whole year. My girl was like, it's this dude named Boo. He from Bastrop. They call him LD. You heard of him? No, I don't know him. He played football, and what's your point? Like, it was a whole year of that before I even saw him and decided to give him my number. So, you know, I feel like I'm one of those princesses. I'm not a damsel in distress princess. I don't think anything's necessarily wrong with having a Prince Charming. Like, if you think about Prince Charming in the movie, in Cinderella, like, he was unhappy and he was looking for love. He was sad and he was bored by all the other women that were just throwing themselves at him. And then he stumbled across this beautiful woman he had apparently never seen before and had some magical experience on the dance floor. He had just never felt nothing like that before. And apparently she didn't either. But so he sets out on this quest to find this woman that he had this major connection with. Don't even front like you ain't never been at like a Q party or like a mixer or some shit like that, and you saw this dude and you was just like, oh my God, we locked eyes, and like you didn't do no whole entire search on social media to find him. Or he didn't do that, because that happened to me. Like it was me and Whitney rolling around at some event in Monroe. And I think it was at some track meet or something. something. I don't know. We was just hanging. And like, I was walking up and this guy was like walking towards me or looking towards me, and we met eyes. Like, not like our eyes met. It was just kind of like we looked up at the same time and kept right on moving. Hours later, I get an inbox that says, "Were you looking at me the way I think you were?" And I was like, "No, but if you say so." I didn't know how to flirt, so I let my friend Whitney do all the flirt text messages and stuff with him, but I didn't stop her. I mean, I wasn't looking at you like that, but if you think I was, then okay, what's up? So don't even front, act like you've never had one of them experiences, okay? It's not just Cinderella and Prince Charming. We all are guilty of that. But anyway, so he sets on this whole quest and everything to find her. And like, I just don't think there's nothing wrong with like, you know, having your own stuff. But I mean, like, hello, it's nice for somebody else to come around and make decisions. Or it's nice that someone else is capable of taking care of you, capable of doing nice things for you, capable of buying you diamonds, big diamonds, carrots, like stacked, all of that stuff. Larry Davenport, if you're listening, there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with Prince Charming. And then like the guy at Open Mic January, he was talking about how he had to go through the whole kingdom. Bitches be having track records too. I mean, they do. Just not publicly. But they be having track records too. But anyway, as I was just sitting here thinking about Prince Charming, I came across this article on BuzzFeed about Cinderella. It's 14 questions Disney forgot to answer about Cinderella. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these. First one is like, why and how do all the spouses die? You know what? How do they? The king's wife died. Cinderella's mother died. Evil stepmother's husband died. Cinderella's dad died. Like, what the hell was going on? What was in the water? Second question that I want to know. How did Cinderella's father even fall for this crazy bitch? Like, how? Like, what did she say? What type of conversations did they have for him not to see all that damn crazy? You know? But you know what, though? My thoughts on that is like, people know how to interview really well. You know, you be at work and you be like, how'd she get here? How'd he get here? He ain't nowhere near qualified because he knows how to interview. There's plenty of unemployed people that got the skills, that will work their asses off, that will give their whole self to the job, to the company, to the mission, but can't get past the damn interview, be jacking it all up. And then you got this person over here that don't give a shit about nothing. Kill it. Kill the game. Talking about they a team player. No, they not. They call in all the time. They don't do their work, and then you get blamed for it. They don't say nothing. Talking about they work well with others. You the messiest one in the office. Be parking in folks' parking spots. Eating their lunch. Talking about, you know, Microsoft Office, the Microsoft suite. You don't know shit. Don't know nothing. But here you go with the job. Running the department. All that type of stuff. That's how that crazy bitch got in there. That's how she got Cinderella's daddy, okay? Let's see, what else was it? Here's a question that I want to know myself now that I see it. How old are the stepsisters? Them bitches did look aged. They did look like really aged. They looked really like they've been out in the sun maybe. You know how white people be looking sometimes when they start like smoking and stuff. You know what I'm saying? How old are they? They look like, well, I was going to say in their 30s, but I'm 33 and I look good. And my skin looks really good. They look like some old ladies in some little girl dresses, okay? Did they ever say Prince Charming's name, or is his name just Prince Charming? Let's see. How did they seriously not recognize Cinderella at the ball? Like, all she had on was like a new dress. They must have been like all the way in the back. And then what does Prince and Cinderella talk about? But you know what? That's BuzzFeed's question that they don't understand. I get it. Sometimes you just have those magical moments, okay? Where you just like, we're so together. We're so connected. We just feel each other's spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that. And when you're on the dance floor, that happens. Just think back to all the cute parties. You know what I'm talking about. You know. Why did the mice need to wear clothes? That's true. Where are they going? They ain't going nowhere. Why didn't anyone come up with the solution and just be like, and ask, who has the other slipper instead of having to go through the whole kingdom? And then like the last question that BuzzFeed is confused about, I pretty much think I know what it is, but they're like, what happens to the evil stepmother and stepsisters? They probably died like everybody else in Cinderella's movie. They probably died. Last thing I kind of want to talk about for today, while I have your time. Just one more thing that's on my mind. You know, it's the end of prom season. Been seeing a lot of like prom-posals and prom dresses and stuff, and like what happened to people just going to Dillard's and getting a dress? Like, and this is not hate, because all the young ladies and all the young men, they look really, really nice. But like, I just didn't think of getting like I didn't even get no custom dress for my wedding. The most custom I did was getting sequins sewn into the skirt, because I didn't want to go up on a price point to get a dress that already had sequins sewn in so you could be sparkling all over the theater and the ballroom. Well, it took me to a whole nother price point, and I just was not trying to go there. So that was the most economic way to do it. You know what I'm saying? But like, what happened to people going to Dillard's? Like, I remember chicks like going out of town, out of state, to go get their prom dresses and stuff. And I thought I was this shit, because I went to Dillard's and I had this white dress and it was fitted, and I thought I was so sexy because I had gained like 5 pounds. So I was like 120, 125. But yeah, I had this white dress and it had like some slits on the side. My arms and backs were out. My back was out. I just like, ooh, killing it. And then like I had the fresh perm. I had a bob. I think I got my makeup done at like Fashion Fair or something. Like, I just thought I was the shit. But anyway, the ladies look nice, you know, and it's just a whole lot of custom stuff, and ain't nothing wrong with that. If you got it, do it. Nothing wrong with it. I see all the prom-posals, and that's so freaking cute, so sweet. Like, people are just out here like doing it. Like, DJ Envy posted the other day that his oldest daughter got a prom-posal, and he got a teddy bear, and then the poster said something about it'd be unbearable if he didn't go to prom with me or something like that. Anyway, it was really cute, and I was like, that's so sweet. All I got was like a dude rolling up on me off the lockers, being like, "You want to go to prom?" And I'm just like, okay. Yeah, that's what I got. But the prom-posals, they real cute. Real cute. My senior prom, it was cool. I went with this guy named Jamel. Jamel's cool. I had been knowing him since maybe like the 2nd or 3rd grade. But there's a little story to how I ended up going with Jamel to prom. I had wanted to go originally with my homeboy, Warren. I had went with Warren to my senior, Sadie, Hawkins. All through high school, my mom was like, do not go to dances with your boyfriend or a boy that likes you or somebody that you like, because you won't have fun. Go with your friends. And I took her advice my senior year, and I had so much fun in my senior, Sadie Hawkins. So I was like, you know what? And I just broke up with my high school boyfriend too. I was like, I'm trying to have fun. And this dude was just really like, we were really good friends. And so I was like, I'm just going to go with him to prom. And so he wasn't going to go to prom. He wasn't one of those type of dudes. So he was like, if I wanted him to go, he would go. Well, then my girl told me that this guy that I was dating, he was fucking other people. I didn't know. But this guy that I was dating was going to ask me. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to ask for him because this guy is going to ask me. Bitch, days pass, and days pass, and weeks pass, and prom is rolling up, and Erin still ain't got no date. She's still up in this thing by herself. Ain't got no date, no ass, no nothing. I said ask, not ass. But anyway. So I was like, I hit my homegirl. I was like, whoa, like, what's the deal? Like, are you sure? Like, he said that? Like, you heard that correctly? She was like, yeah, that's what he said he was going to do. He was going to ask you. He ended up going to prom with somebody else. And I didn't have a date. But I was walking through the hallway one day, and Jamel was walking up on me. Now, Jamel had he had a crush on me, like, all through school. I really just think it's because, like, I'm cute and all, but I just didn't think that I was all that You know what I'm saying? But he had a crush on me for like a really long time. I just really think it's because like I never judged him or made fun of him or you know, like I was always nice to him. Like, wasn't nothing wrong with him. He was just cool, you know? I just didn't like him like that. But like I saw him walking up on me and now it's plain as day. But I saw him walking up on me and he was like, what's up, E? And I'm like, nothing. He was like, and I can remember the small talk conversation, but he was like, will you go to prom with me? And I was like, sure. Yeah. He's like, for real? And I was like, yeah. And walked off. And like, he must have thought that I was going to say no because I heard him as I was walking off being like, she said yes. She said yes. And I'm just like, this nigga is tripping. But yeah, whatever. So I went with Jamel. We had a good time. He picked me up in his dad's Benz, and it didn't matter what car we drove in. Like, I'm not that type of person. But my mama didn't really give me no pep talk. She probably was like, come home at this time, but it wasn't really no pep talk. I think she knew I wasn't gonna fuck him. But and then like when people found out that I was going with Jamel, they were like, why are you going with him? And I was like, well, he asked me. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with him. Like, he asked me, so you know. But anyway, that was my prom experience. It was cool, but I never got no prom-posal, no homecoming posals, none of that stuff. It was like I went with boyfriends, I went by myself, or it was just like, you want to go? You know, I never even heard of prom-posals until I started watching Laguna Beach. They all like making posters and banners and making hearts in the sand with candles and stuff. I never got that shit. I never saw nobody around Captain Shreve doing that type of stuff. And so when Laguna Beach came out, I think I was in college, and I was like, what? Do people do this? They do that? Anyway, but I totally respect guys that conjure up the courage to ask a girl out on a date or to a dance or whatever, because that shit is nerve-wracking. Like, are they going to say no? Are they going to embarrass me? Are they going to tell everybody? Are they going to clown me? Like what is it going to be? I felt that fear my freshman year in high school at my first Sadie Hawkins. And my friends, they shall remain nameless, maybe. Them heifers probably don't even remember this, but I remember it. Asian Brittany. But they pumped me up to ask out this guy. And I ain't going to say his name because he's totally irrelevant. But they pumped my head up to ask this guy out. And I was like, okay, so I'll do it. So we're getting out of track practice. We're walking back to the locker rooms. And we're getting it together. He was behind us. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. They take off, you know. And so I slow down. And I'm standing next to him, and we do some little small talk conversation or whatever. And I'm just like, well, will you go to Sadie Hawkins with me? And he told me some version of no. And he wasn't rude. It was just like, it's no. I mean, it wasn't rude. It was just a rejection. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I went on off and ran up there with my friends and this and that. They were in the locker room or whatever. And like I said, he wasn't rude. It was just a rejection. And I didn't think I was going to be rejected. I was just nervous. And not that I thought I was the shit. It was just like, I just didn't think that was going to happen. But, so I'm telling these heifers in the locker room what happened, you know, and it probably was like a dang. And I'm like, well, yeah, you know, okay. I'm just really just kind of, it's embarrassing, maybe. I had feelings. I hate that expression, some type of feelings. But, I mean, it's embarrassing and it's a letdown and this and that. But, like, I was going to take it like a champ. I'm like, yeah, you know, well, it's all good, you know. I turn around, so I'll probably go in the bathroom. I'm just trying to remember the layout of the locker room. But basically go on the other side of the lockers. And I must have, you know what? I know what it was. Our lockers were on the same row in the locker room. I must have been going to the bathroom or something. But I turned right back around. Like, literally walk around the lockers 3-4 seconds later, maybe 5 seconds later, I come back and I walk up on these bitches talking about it. And it was like not necessarily talking about me because they're my friends. But just talking about the situation. And they were just like, and I remember reading their lips and they're just like, oh my God, I'd be so embarrassed. And they're like, yeah. And they was like, yeah, oh my God, I'd be so embarrassed too. And I was like, really, bitch? Y'all up in here talking over there? They were like, and that's all I remember of that. But I'm just like, y'all have us pump my head up to ask this guy out. He tells me no. I tell y'all, then I'll walk up on y'all like 5 seconds later being like, oh my God, I'd be so embarrassed. Heifers. I still like y'all though. Asia and Brittany.